Hi guys, welcome back to Pitch Intel, and I'm here to give you my post-match analysis for Champions League match day 4. So I'll be talking about Slavia Prague versus Arsenal, Liverpool versus Real Madrid, and PSG versus Bayern Munich. So without wasting much time, we'll dive straight into Arsenal versus Slavia Prague. That was an amazing game, and there was no doubt that Arsenal would go on to win that game. There was definitely no doubt because Arsenal had won 9 straight games running into this one, keeping 8 clean sheets alongside that. So this game actually made it 10 straight wins for Arsenal. This is a milestone achievement for Arsenal, for Mikel Arteta as a whole, because he has actually built a culture in the team, a culture that spans across all positions, from the defensive line to midfield to the attacking front as well, to the goalkeeper. I mean, all the departments work in sync. So there is nobody carrying the other person. Everyone carries each other in the team. Like, it's a team where everybody gives 100%. So there is no way that you can actually pinpoint the fact that, oh, this person is the star guy in this team, or this person is the star guy in this team. I want to give kudos to Mikel Merino, because each time Mikel Merino is being called upon, he comes in and delivers the job. You can say whatever you want, that he's not a classic number 9. He's not the kind of number 9 that will give you 30 goals per season. But he's a dynamic player. It is very rare before you find those kinds of players in the team. Sometimes he sits on the bench, and anytime he comes in, he delivers a monstrous performance. The last time Merino scored for Arsenal was in the away game at St. James Park, where he scored for Arsenal. He actually scored the equalizing goal for Arsenal in that game, which Arsenal later went on to win. Saka got a goal, got a penalty as well. I mean, when the ball hit the hand of the Slava player, I never expected it to be a PK. Nobody even saw it anyway, but that's the job of the VAR. They did a fantastic job. VAR were actually decent today, because it got me scared when Arsenal, when they awarded Slava Prague a penalty. I was scared, even though Arsenal already won, 3-0 at the time. But it wasn't about we winning. It's about keeping the clean sheet, because keeping that clean sheet gives confidence to the defense. Now, take it or leave it. Any defender that comes in, look at Mbappe, came in today, gave a super shift. When any defender that comes in, they know the drill. No shot should go to Raya. Raya's job is to come out, challenge for the corners, or come out to, help in the build-up play. Sometimes Raya even stays on the halfway line. That's how lazy Raya has become. Not like he's lazy, but he doesn't have what to do. I mean, you wouldn't blame him. No job. When you work in an office and you are not being allocated jobs, you try to allocate one for yourself. So that is what Arsenal is actually doing at the moment. The Slava players, right? They came in to bully Arsenal at the beginning. Okay, they were really, really on the front foot with really high press, and I just knew that there is nowhere on earth that they'll be able to carry on with that performance for 90 minutes. Not possible. The last game they played, they led by 2 goals, and they ended up playing a draw. I think, yeah, that would have been a draw. So we were brilliant today. Timber, amazing as always. Saliba and Gabriel, super guy. And the shot on target that Slava Prague got, that wasn't supposed to be a shot on target. Honestly, it wasn't supposed to be, because come on. It was just a deflected ball that went to Raya, and Raya just, and had to grab that. But bar that, Trossard too, the quality of the delivery from Trossard, I believe we do not give Trossard the praise he deserves, because that guy, anytime he's being called upon, he might not be, the fanciest of players. He might not have all the tricks and all the dribbles on his feet, but when we talk about being clinical, Trossard is clinical. He really plays off target. Look at that cross. Look at the perfectly weighted cross to Merino today. Excellent ball to Merino. So anytime he's being called upon, he comes in and does the job. Max Doman today actually came in at 15 years, 305 days. So that's a Champions League record. The previous record by Arsenal was being held by Jack Wilshere, but now Doman has broken that record. It was beautiful seeing him coming on and, winning those fouls, taking on players, trying to build that confidence, because you can only build that confidence with experience. And I'm happy that Mikel Arteta is easing in these Helden Academy boys into the team, and that is super grand. I love that for him, and I really wish that these players, become the best versions of themselves. So kudos to Arsenal. Their next Champions League game is up against Bayern Munich, and yeah, Bayern Munich is the only team I'm scared about in Europe. I'll come to that in a minute when I talk about PSG versus Bayern Munich game. And before I go on to the Real Madrid game, I want you to, pause at this point, click that like button on this video, subscribe to my channel, just so that you can keep enjoying more content like this. If you subscribe, that's the only way you can encourage me, to keep going. Thank you very much for that. So that's it for Arsenal. Currently, at the time of shooting this video, some teams have not played, but the only team that hasn't played that would, take Arsenal off the second spot in the table currently is Inter Milan, which I believe they are going to win Almaty tomorrow. If they do win Almaty, yeah, then they would most likely go second, depending on the score line. So let's see how that goes. So now I'll jump on to Liverpool versus Real Madrid. That was an amazing game. That was a super performance by Liverpool. They put in a super shift. They deserve to win that game, even though the game was a bit boring initially, because I wasn't seeing that spark. I wasn't seeing that end-to-end, football that I had actually expected in the game. But later on, yeah, things started heating up, and the players started turning up. At every point in time, Bellingham is always going to be Bellingham. He's an excellent player. He's a super player. I love him. I love his energy. I love what he brings into the game. He knows the meaning of winning, right? He knows the meaning of winning. And yeah, I give him kudos. But I blame Xabi Alonso for this loss. The reason why I blame Xabi Alonso was because he had to deviate from what he has been playing all season that works for him in La Liga. Why would you deviate from that and just come into play 4-4-2? Why? That wasn't it for me. Playing Valverde at right back, no. Playing Valverde at right back was not the best thing to do, because Camavinga and Tchouaméni in midfield for me did not match the energy of Gravenberch and McAllister. They were actually overpowered. The only thing that saved them was because Bellingham has the energy to track back, get the ball, as support them in marking and recoveries, ball recoveries. He actually had a lot of ball recoveries today. So he did great. He did well. Camavinga was not in the game for me. Adagrola, this game was way too physical for him. Though he's actually one for the future. He actually has bright glimpses on the ball, but I just didn't see his impact in the game. Right? They actually started playing a little bit better when they did some substitutions. For me, Rodrigo should have started this game. Play your 4-3-3 and start Rodrigo on the right, start Vinicius on the left, play Mbappe on 9. You get? If you want to play Adagula as number 10, fine. Play Bellingham as number 8 and play Tchouaméni and Camavinga as number 6. You understand? So that's what I would have done. Maybe he didn't want to start Trent because he knows that the reception Trent was going to receive at Anfield was going to be a terrible one, which I am super disappointed with the fans at Liverpool, because they did not need to boo Trent like that. At every point Trent touched the ball, he was booed. Look, now when the game finished, I was like, I wanted to see if he's going to get hugs or handshakes from anybody. He was just all led by himself. He was left alone. He walked down the tunnel alone, and I felt really sad. He's not the first player to leave Liverpool to Real Madrid. I mean, Xabi Alonso, which you guys actually consider a Liverpool legend as well, left to Real Madrid from Liverpool. And I didn't see him getting this sort of reception. Or are you guys upset that he actually had to learn Spanish? If he wanted to go to Madrid, if it was his aim to go to Real Madrid, then it's okay for him to learn Spanish. And he just came out recently to tell you guys that he just started learning Spanish, I think, in the month of May, when the season had almost finished. So, I mean, what are you saying? It was really appalling sight to see, because that guy gave his all to Liverpool. If not because of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Liverpool would never win the Champions League they won on that club. Because that quick corner alone, where he gave that pass, that quick pass for Origi to score that goal was what took Barcelona out of the Champions League for them to get to the finals. So I mean, that was it. I was really not happy with that. But Zaboslai is a super player. His free kicks, his set pieces. I mean, when Trent left, Zaboslai stepped up. He stepped up. And this is what I love about the game. There is always someone to do the job. And Slot, let this be a lesson to you. Let this be a lesson. Next time, start players that have done it before. Look at Bradley. So you had Bradley and you've been playing Zaboslai right back. Bradley pocketed Vinicius Jr. today, whether you like it or not. The same way, what's this boy's name? Carreras pocketed Mohamed Salah today. Mohamed Salah was in Carreras' pocket. Vinicius Jr. was in Bradley's pocket. 1-1. Yes. Then Robertson, oh my word, what a player. What a player you are, bro. He knows when to make the tackles. He knows when to commit. He knows when to force a yellow card just so that he can suppress the attack. Those are experienced players, not Kekes. Kekes would be great. I mean, I watch my Bournemouth. I know what he can do. I know Kekes is going to be a great player. But you can't take it away from experience. Robertson was the guy. If you observe, Konate and Van Dijk were really confident having Robertson on the left flank. They're really confident because they know he has done it before and he can do it again. So, Anslot, stop tinkling with your starting lineup. You can maintain this lineup for me. And another thing I want to mention here is that Florian Wirtz, I saw glimpses of hope with Florian Wirtz. I've been critical of him, heavy critical on Florian Wirtz, but I've seen glimpses of hope for Florian Wirtz, and I do believe that he's going to come good at Anfield. He just needs to work on his physicality. That's it. Physicality, speed, and awareness. Because he's not always aware of environment. He scans, as a midfielder, you need to scan the environment before you get the pass and before you even give out the pass, because you don't know who's going to come in to intercept. He does that, but his awareness is not there yet. Right? And that was super selfish today from Mo Salah. Mo Salah should have given Vet that ball and Vet would have scored. If you observe, I'm going to look for a video of that and post. If you observe that ball, Vet was so disappointed he couldn't say a thing. I saw the pain in his eyes after Salah didn't drop that. And it's not the first time Salah is doing this. He has done it before in previous games, and he did it again today. He's too selfish. Just drop the pass to this guy and let this guy get his goal for Liverpool. But you enjoy the fact that he's getting trolled. That's why I'm saying you need to play for the collective success of the team. Do not play for individual accolades. That's what Salah is doing, and that's not good. It's not good at all. So that's my take on the Liverpool versus Real Madrid game. Honestly, that's just basically my honest take. Ekitike was brilliant as well. Yeah, that's it. So I'll just jump and touch briefly on PSG versus Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are the only team that have got successive straight wins in all competitions. They've not drawn, they've not lost. I am scared of Vincent Kompany. Vincent Kompany, what are you doing to Bayern Munich? What are you doing? You went to Parc des Princes to beat PSG in France? The audacity. My days. The audacity of this guy. You need to be studied, because when you were recruited from Burnley, you had taken them down to relegation, brought them up to the league premiership, and they went down again with you, and you then got that Bayern job. People were like, what has he done to merit this job? But now I can see what they saw in you. This is a super performance. I'm telling you. I mean, you don't be deceived by the overall ball position. Overall ball position finished at 71% to PSG and 29% to Bayern Munich. That's basically because Bayern Munich got a red card to Luis Diaz the closing stages of the first half. Because what would convince you in a 50-50 stage would be the first half. Yeah, because in the first half, the position was 57% to PSG, though they had a little bit most of the ball, but it's not that much. And these guys, Bayern Munich had 43% possession. PSG had 6 shots 6 shots, and Bayern has 7 shots. And Bayern even had 4 on target, and PSG had only 1 on target. Right? That is how you would know how the game went. And first half, Bayern Munich had concluded the deal by getting their 2 goals. Luis Diaz got a brace. Luis Diaz, what an excellent player he's been for them, right? Even though Dembele scored a goal that was disallowed for offside, but that was not enough. And a lot of kudos to Manuel Neuer. I don't know when this lad is going to retire, but he's still a top class goalkeeper. I mean, to get an 8.1 match rating is not child's play, right? Manuel Neuer really deserves it. Bayern Munich were brilliant. But the moment they came into the second half, they packed the bus, defended their 2 goal lead, even though PSG were able to get one back, but it wasn't enough. It was not enough. Dembele got injured. Hakimi also got injured as well, and I do hope that they recover, quicker. But with the way things stand now, I am really scared of Bayern Munich, because the audacity for you to go into France and beat PSG at home needs to be studied. But kudos to you guys. You've won 100% record. Let's see how it goes. Your next match is with Arsenal. That is the toughest test for you, because it's going to be at the Emirates. Even though you've battered Arsenal in the Champions League severally, I mean, during the building days, I mean, the days when Arsenal were actually shit and crap. Those days, those days are long gone. You used to turn out victorious, but I am convinced it's no longer going to be that way. It's not going to be, business as usual. Let's see what happens in 3 weeks from now, because international break is coming up very soon anyway. So let's see how that happens, and then we'll be back to discuss that afterwards. So thank you very much. This video has already taken a lot of time. That should be like 15-16 minutes now, I'm not sure, but thank you very much. And remember to hit that like button and subscribe to this video before you go, and then I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you very much. Bye bye.